Thanks for logging on. It's been a very warm day compared to the last couple of days where all we saw was clouds and rainfall. Today we broke out a little bit of sunshine during the early morning and the early afternoon hours, and we got up to 88 degrees here in Tallahassee, 90 degrees in Quincy. Strong storms are possible during rush hour tomorrow morning. A couple of showers have already started to pop up across our area, and traveling west on I-10, the weather only gets worse. Strong storms are moving through eastern Mississippi down into the New Orleans region right now. Here's how this is all going to roll along here. A couple of storms already occurring across the western panhandle. Most of those storms well back towards the front, back in Louisiana and Mississippi. A couple of strong storms are possible during the overnight hours, maybe one or two severe storms as we roll towards sunrise, and this cold front gets out of our area by late afternoon into early Wednesday morning. Sunny skies returning back into the forecast by early Wednesday morning, and then Thursday and Friday back towards seasonable conditions with highs in the 80s and possibly up into the upper 80s maybe as we head through the day tomorrow and into Saturday and Sunday. Look at this. Winds are starting to come out of the east by the day on Sunday, and that's kind of a sign of the things to come. We're going to start to warm up during the day on Sunday. Look at the winds coming out of the south now as we head into the day on Monday. These winds are going to start to pick up as we head into Monday. Southerly winds means rain is on the way. Here's how we're going to pinpoint it here. Rain moving in mostly in across southern Georgia and then across mostly north of I-10, but we have a low threat of some damaging winds here across mainly south of Apalachicola, St. George Island, and then over towards the Perry Reach. We've cooled down just a smidge here, down to 84 degrees with those clouds lingering around. That's going to keep those temperatures during the overnight hours quite warm, but look at that dew point. We're sitting near 70 degrees for that dew point, and that's going to really keep those temperatures up. We also can have a little bit of fog as that south wind brings in even more moisture during the overnight hours. The humidity has been the real story. Dew points flirting with 70 degrees. That's relentlessly sticky outside. If you're heading to the baseball game tonight, it's going to be jerseys to your back tonight with lots of moisture out there. 66 degrees was that dew point, actually a little bit drier down towards the south. And look at this feed. This goes all the way back to Hawaii. This is called the Pineapple Express here. You can see this trail of clouds goes all the way up into Mexico and up into our region, following this in, really gathering a lot of moisture in the Gulf of Mexico and blowing up across the southeast. This is allowing all those dew points to really climb. This is going to be more interest of us here in Florida because this is going to slowly drift off towards the west. It doesn't really have a large chance of development, but it will bring a lot more moisture with it as it crosses the Bahamas and into South Florida over the next 5 days or so. That could bring more rain and some more storms as this cold front pushes back towards the north and away from us. It's going to bring in some heat and some more wind as well. But the main story has been across the southeast. Places in Pensacola over to Biloxi have picked up 5 to 10 inches of rainfall there. And that's, you can see these green outlines here. This is a flash flood watch for the very quick accumulations of water. Most places in here, everything here in orange and the red, that's rainfall rates in excess of 1 to 2 inches of rain per hour on top of all that rainfall that they've already seen in that region. Here's what they've already seen in the last 40. We've been here all morning and we've got the squall line starting to move through the area. We had a brief tornado warning just west of Tallahassee here down in southwest Leon. Actually, the most damage was here in Leon County, really clustering around the city of Tallahassee. So I thought we'd dive right in here into Tallahassee. Down at the airport, pretty clear down there, but around the city, downtown, we had a lot of reports of damage here, on the order of about 25 reports of damage here downtown. Meridian, again, targeted for severe weather. This is actually here on campus. You can see Joe Campbell sitting here in the background with this large tree down here on campus. If you were here in Tallahassee today, these streetlights are out here across town. Upwards of 70 streetlights were knocked out and power still being restored across town. It took a while from that rain to get out of the region in order for these crews to get back out on these street poles. It's going to pass between 7 and 8 o'clock tonight, and as soon as that passes the Tallahassee region, it's really going to bring in that cool air. You'll notice this change. Good morning. It's a very cold morning here in Tallahassee. In fact, we're at 33 degrees all morning. Here's the timing on all of this. We're going to start out as a cold rain through the evening hours, so we're going to slowly change over to a freezing rain during the early morning hours, let's say between 4 and 5 a.m. And then tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have some sleet mixing in and a possibility of a little bit of snow as well. But there is a warm-up on the way. But first, we have to get through this. Through sunrise, we're going to talk about temperatures dipping towards freezing. Like I said, we're going to get to freezing around the next hour or so. And then we're going to start to see that change over from the very cold rain to a freezing rain and possibly even a couple of sleet pellets over the next couple of hours. Boston being plagued with that snow up north, and that's where we're going to go up to buried Massachusetts here across the eastern parts of Massachusetts and up in toward Bangor, Maine. They've had a low pressure system kind of just sitting around that region. This is going to finally kick out during the day tomorrow. Our friends in State College, they're really dealing with some of that freezing rain and some sleet. State College down towards Philadelphia, Baltimore, also dealing with some of that freezing rain, actually a little bit of thunder possible. Hello everyone, welcome to Meteorological Spring, although it really doesn't feel like it outside. We did make it up into the 60s today, which is just below normal, but those clouds are really making it feel like winter. And here's what it looks like from a different perspective. Those winds coming in out of the south have to go somewhere. They go up and over. That's where we get the term overrunning. That warm air goes up and over that dome of high pressure, and that creates just enough lift for a couple of showers. And we have a cool front move in Thursday morning. Some thunderstorms off towards the north and west. I don't expect too much thunderstorm activity here just yet. The models are not narrowing in on that activity here in the Big Bend, but certainly off towards the north and west. But this cold front will bring us some cooler conditions, dropping us about 20 degrees as we head into Friday, and then clearing out finally for Friday. Then we have to talk about it all over again over the weekend. Cooler. It was 50 years ago today, on November 14th, 1964, that Oglesby Union opened under the old name, the University Union, here with the first Olympic-sized swimming pool here at Florida State University, as well as a new auditorium, some new study facilities, some gaming rooms, as well as some new dining options. The dining options have changed though over the last 50 years, and today you can come out and get some free food at the 50th commemoration ceremony of that dedication to students and staff. Here's a weather map on that particular day. It was a warm day when they opened. A high pressure was in control. Highs on that day were in the 80s with lows in the 60s. And now we're looking at Oglesby Union, very active on most days. More auditorium continues to be used. There are now 3 buildings that consume the Union, and the Trading Post is also a very active spot. We made it down to 31 degrees. Some spots could be upwards of 10 degrees cooler during the overnight hours tonight. Tomorrow we're going to be about 15 degrees warmer in some spots here in the Big Bend. Some places down towards the coast could be upwards of 60 degrees tomorrow. Outside right now, already 39 degrees in Quincy and also in Monticello, 37 in Thomasville, where they're starting to fall already. Down towards the south, where that Gulf water is still in the 50s, still a little bit warmer down there, 48 degrees in Apalachicola, 43 in Carabel right now. But the wind speed really kicking those feels-like temperatures down 12 miles an hour, and that's straight out of the north here in Tallahassee. Same thing down in Apalachicola. Factor those two numbers in, and you get the wind chill here. 37 degrees is what it feels like outside here in Tallahassee. Those are going to feel like freezing here in about 2 hours, so about 8 or 9 o'clock is when it's going to start to feel like freezing. The other factor that's really factored into your clothing forecast here, you might have felt that static electricity today. Dew point of 6 degrees. That's very, very dry, bone dry here across the Big Bend. And up north is where you find the bone marrow, because it's extremely dry up towards Atlanta. Dew points down there about 10 below zero up there, up into the Atlanta metros. Here tonight in the forecast, here in Tallahassee downtown, we're talking about 28 degrees around most of the area, including the airport here in Tallahassee, down into the low to mid 20s, 22 degrees in St. Mark's. Hard freeze warning is in effect for tonight, so temperatures will be below 32 degrees, or below really 26 degrees for 46 hours across most of our region. 27 degrees, some of the warmer spots down there in Franklin County. The wind is going to go calm shortly after midnight. We're going to start off with winds of 5 to 10 miles an hour. That's going to make it cooler, or feel cooler, through the evening hours. But right after sunset, those temperatures are going to fall, as will the wind as we head through the late evening hours through past midnight. We're going to start to see that wind calm off. 55 degrees is where we're heading tomorrow. Chilly start in the morning, but it's going to feel a lot warmer tomorrow afternoon than it will today. That wind is going to shift from the east-northeast tomorrow about 5 miles an hour during the afternoon hours, and then really the big story for the next couple of days after we get through that cold, the warmth returns finally, as that's going to allow us to warm up on your day on Monday. But there is a cool front coming through on Sunday night into Monday morning with a strong rain chance, 80% chance of rain there Monday morning. And then as we head into Tuesday, slightly cooler on Tuesday, but we get back into the rain chance on Wednesday as a slightly stronger cool front comes in on Wednesday. Time to get the kids out the door at 68 degrees at 5 o'clock, and then falling into the mid-60s and then the lower 60s by late evening tomorrow. If you're sticking out closer to midnight, we'll be falling through those 60s and possibly into the upper 50s with that west-northwest wind bringing in drier and cooler air. But there is that line. This is the line we're concerned about for the biggest severe threat moving through the capital city now to Cairo, down towards Apalachicola, East Point, Carabel, but that line continues down towards the south. This is going to move through our entire area and possibly intensify as it moves on towards the east. 69 degrees for the overnight hours with a couple of showers at humidity sticking around during the overnight hours. If you're heading to the baseball game tonight, keep that in mind because the hair is going to be frizzy and we're going to be talking about those jerseys stuck to your back. 70 degrees down at the coast in Carabel and Apalachicola tonight. 80 degrees in Apalachicola if you're heading down for some seafood on the boardwalk down there. Keep that in mind.